actually, and but it's so worth growing it. And one of the reasons it's really good to grow is it can help repel. It can help repel mosquitoes, and I hate mosquitoes. So, delicious culinary herb, useful in the garden to help repel insects, medicinally aiding a very good aid to digestion, and it has anti-inflammatory properties. I love lemongrass, honestly. If you can get it going, just a couple plants will satisfy all your needs. You just want a little in a dish. It's actually fairly strong. It's perennial, but only in those hot, humid, tropical areas. You can grow it as an annual if you live where I do. And again, it does better in pots where I do, but I can get a little growing in the garden. It helps keep the bugs away. And you can actually just rub it on your skin to keep the mosquitoes off. It can grow fairly quickly. It grows like a grass, and it grows clumping. It clumps as an aromatic grass that'll grow over 4 feet tall. So, like I said, just a couple plants are more than you're going to need. Um, it's really easy to grow it from an existing plant, just dividing it. If you grow from seed, it's a little trickier, but as it is such a hot weather plant, even though it is perennial in its native environment, be sure to sow the seeds shallowly in the ground after the last frost. Frost is going to kill this plant. Space it about 2 to 3 feet apart. Like I said, it grows big. Uh, if if you live where I do, bring it inside for the winter, and you can overwinter those plants and put them back out in the spring. You can even just plant them in the garden and then dig them up and pot them in the fall. No problem. Just don't let frost touch this plant. Hardiness is only zone 9A through 11, so that's like Florida, Houston. This is a hot weather plant. But you can keep it as a perennial in zone 8. Actually, that would be zone 8 would probably be up as far as hmm, maybe North Georgia. Let me think. Let me think. Yes, the southern border of North Carolina toward the coast. Once you get east of Highway 17, you're into 8A. 8A will continue until about Aiken, South Carolina, and then you're about 8B from there. 8A again in North Georgia, up around you have north of Athens, even into 7, and such, going up into Dahlonega and all that. But yeah, that would be 8B, basically going from there clear over through Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and then you're talking 9. Yeah, 9 from about the southern half of Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, going into Florida and the Gulf Coast. So if you protect it from winds and put it on like maybe the southeastern side of your house, protect it from wind, where maybe the brick or whatever of your house or the cinder block foundation, or maybe you can put some rocks around it, will retain heat, absorb heat during the day, and kind of keep the nighttime temps from being too hot. I mean, too cold. You should be able to grow lemongrass really throughout most of the southeast. Not in Virginia, not certainly north of. I wouldn't even say north of Raleigh. I wouldn't even try it at all. Even in Chattanooga, in Tennessee, Memphis. No, sure, yeah, you could probably grow it in Memphis. And of course, when you get out there around the Mississippi River, it can get crazy hot going up into like, wow, since I mean Kansas City and Ohio, I mean, crazy hot, and that's one of the hottest areas I know of in the summer. But you're going to get a harder winter, so maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, and if of course you're not in the eastern part of the United States, that means nothing to you. But you can look at a map and do a correlation, and you know what I'm talking about. So let's finish up with for today with lemon verbena, and now this is one of my favorite herbs as well. I love to fish. And I always combine citrus with my fish. Now, where I live, I cannot grow citrus. Might be able to get away with a bitter orange. That's a different, really, very different kind of plant. Um, if I go down to Caldwell County, I think that's as far at, no, let me think. Yeah, again, this just means nothing for most of you. But if you looked at the map to like, say, Lenore, North Carolina, you can grow really nice lemons in Lenore, North Carolina. I've seen some of the best, fullest lemon trees ever. And that's, they're not even supposed to grow there, you know. But that's a good example of if you've got a place with a lot of sun and it's protected from winds. Uh, by the time you head up the mountain and you're hitting a lot of communities you never heard of, like Blackberry and such, but then maybe you've heard of Blowing Rock or Boone or something, way too cold for any kind of citrus. But I love citrus with my fish. So that's why I look at like lemon verbena, lemon grass, lemon balm. And lemon balm I can grow outside. Lemon verbena, lemon grass have to be grown in pots and taken inside. But yeah, I totally use those herbs, and they all help repel mosquitoes. Down at the coast a few years ago, the bluefish were running like crazy about maybe October 1, and the temperatures were hitting almost 100 degrees. You know, coastal North Carolina, down around Charlotte, that area, right at the South Carolina border. And I was catching bluefish like hand over fist. I was out there with my surf casting rod. I was running like a double rig, like you'd fish for spots. And I was just casting it into schools with pieces of shrimp on each hook. And every time I was reeling in two like snapper bluefish. And the thing about bluefish is they're very oily and they have a very high metabolism. If you treat them right, the meat is actually this dark blue, red, like really fine tuna. And in the hot weather like that, you have to gut them and bleed them immediately and ice them down. Most people don't eat bluefish in the hot weather because it essentially begins to spoil before they can even get home and use it. The meat starts to become mushy and soft and it tastes oily. It's really not good. But if you cut through the gills essentially and bleed them out and gut them just immediately, uh, and then ice them down, fantastic fish. Well, with a nice fatty fish like that, of course, I'm going to want plenty of citrus. Well, fortunately, um, with the relative I was staying with, there was lots of lemon verbena, and it was being grown basically to keep and lemongrass too, to keep the mosquitoes down because the mosquitoes are horrible down there. And I just had a grill, and I'd take that bluefish and I'd oil the grill and put a little oil on the fish, olive oil, grill it up real quick, stuffed with lemon verbena, lemongrass, and two or three slices of lemon, salt and pepper, um, a little onion, garlic, and then that was it, right? And I would just eat it like that, or I'd actually make ceviche out of it, which is fantastic. Or I'd put it on a salad. You take a couple of those nice bluefish grilled up like that with all those citrus flavors and just put it on top of a salad and dig in. You know, I mean, it's just really fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I love these lemony herbs, especially lemon balm, which is in the mint family and grows very well outdoors where I live. It actually grows. It's not wild, but it's been naturalized, as they say. So good with trout. You know, I eat a ton of trout when I'm in the mountains. Great with salmon, which does not exist around here. But you know, another one of my favorite fish. Just it's hard not to. I can't think of any freshwater or saltwater fish or seafood, from oysters to shrimp to you name it, that doesn't pair perfectly with citrus. Well, lemon verbena is another one of those tropical plants that actually comes from South America. It has a very pleasant citrusy scent and flavor, and it combines perfectly with lemon balm and lemongrass. Actually, the three of them just enhance each other. You throw a little lemon zest or a little lime or orange zest, anything with that, and it's like tropical fruit. I mean, just fantastic. Most people only think of lemon verbena as a tea herb, and it's really a shame because it can be used in so many culinary applications. From, like I said, cooking with fish, or like a lemon pepper chicken, which who doesn't love that, to flavoring sugar and such, like a lemon and vanilla scented sugar that you might use with some cookies or an icing or something. Medicinally, I think Plants for Future said lemon verbena is an undervalued medicinal herb. Contains a strong lemon scented essential oil that has a calming and also that has calming and digestive qualities. The plant is a gentle has a gentle sedative action. Getting tongue tied here. And a reputation for soothing abdominal discomfort. It has a mildly tonic effect upon the nervous system and helps to lift the spirits and counter depression. The leaves and flowering tops are antispasmodic, febrifuge, which means helps with a fever, sedative and stomachic. A tea made from the leaves has a deliciously refreshing lemon flavor and is used mainly in treating digestive disorders such as flatulence, indigestion, and acidity. Some caution is advised since prolonged use of large internal doses can cause gastric irritation. That's true with many herbs, and they're talking a whole lot. The herb is also useful as a stimulant for treating lethargy or depression, and also used to treat feverish colds. The essential oil is used in aromatherapy and the treatment of nervous and digestive problems, and also for acne, boils, and cysts. So you can see it's a very useful herb, and I mean, it's just one of those. Because I cannot actually grow citrus where I live, this is one that I would not be without, because I can keep a couple pots of this and just bring it inside over the winter. I mean, really, it's a tropical herb. It's not going to tolerate any um, frost, but rubbed on the skin just like lemongrass, it will help repel mosquitoes. Can help with skin infections. It can help with so many things. So I think this is a really important one to have around. And it's another one that just going to look really attractive as a potted plant. Or if you grow, if you live where it'll grow, or if you grow where it lives, I don't know, it will do fine. Thing is, it will grow 3 to 4 feet tall. So just like lemongrass, it's a big plant. This one's not quite as clumping, I guess I would say. So you can actually just grow it about a foot apart. But hardiness zone is 8A to 10B. So, yeah, it's pretty much the same region I said you could grow lemongrass in. Um, Really great way to use these herbs. Obviously, lemon verbena would be great in a sauce made of butter and garlic and salt and pepper and over chicken or anything you like. These herbs are great to season white wine. You can get those medicinal properties. My favorite white wine is a Sauvignon Blanc. It's a lemony wine. Can't always find a good one at a decent price. Really, some of the, in my opinion, the best come from Chile and Argentina. But you can take like I don't know. If your wife likes Pinot Grigio, I don't know any man who likes Pinot Grigio. Okay, if you do, okay, fine. Or like what they call a buttery Chardonnay. Most of us would just rather grab a beer, right? These herbs are really good in beer too. Like you might put a slice of lemon in a Mexican beer. Works the same way. You can really make that wine taste a whole lot better by taking some lemon verbena, lemon balm, lemongrass, mint, several herbs, wormwood, even a pinch of that, and steeping it in that wine, just letting it sit in that wine. You're going to get all those good medicinal properties, and you're probably going to find that you really like that wine once it's been herbed. Now, I would not add anything sweet to it. I am not big on the sweets, but that tradition of putting herbs and a little sugar in wines is really where most of the cordials and liqueurs and the vermouths and all that come from Europe. But that is one, like I said, just like you might put a slice of lemon in a cerveza, a little bit of that lemon verbena, it's going to go fantastically. And that's the way, yeah, you can really, really enjoy you can really enjoy these herbs.